Hello fellow Gray engineers. I'm going to set up a camera over here at a local burger joint. It's called the Snow Cap. I'm going to set it up inside here. So let me grab my camera. Actually this guy right here. And I'll meet you guys inside. It's a wireless IP camera, but I have a crossover cable going just straight to my computer. So let me plug this camera in. I'm gonna plug it into power here. All right, so now we've plugged the camera in. It will go through its little reset and scan, and I'm going to open up the computer and I'll show you guys what it looks like on the computer. Okay, I have taken this camera and previously put it on the network, set the IP address to 10.0.0.10, and I took the laptop here and I just manually set the IP address to 10.0.0.2 just to be on the same octet. And all it is just a crossover cable between here and the laptop. So let me go to open a browser here. Alright, so I'm going to type in the IP address I had typed in of the camera, 10.10. Alright, so here's the window that comes up when you see the camera. So we're seeing the camera. I'll sign in, and sure enough I see the camera. So let me pan it down. And there is the outside. We're going to have to put it in a better position, but there's the camera and there's the view it's seeing. Okay? So there's the view it's seeing. Well, sort of. But you see that it sees it. Alright, so now I'm going to go into the networking issue next. Alright, so here we are ready to do the networking part of the camera setup. During that little break, I mounted the camera up here so we can get a better view, look outside. So for the networking, like I said before, I had set this to a 10.1.10 address just manually. And now what I was going to do was I know that the router in this building is on 192.168. Here, let me type that in, 192.168.1.1. So let me go to the router. I see the router here. I have to log into the router. Actually, let me log into the router. Alright, so I'm logging into the router. They gave me their password to get into their router. So, right now, the camera is sitting at 10.1.1, not DHCP. So what I've got to do two things. Let me go to networking. I'm sorry, let me go to network and wireless. And let me do a scan, because I want this camera to be on the wireless network. I don't want to have to wire it. So I'm going to scan it. Oh, didn't show up. Let me try scanning again. Alright, so here we go. Lion's Den, Snow Cap. That's what we want. Maybe a Lion's Den is around here somewhere. I have no idea where that's at. Alright, so Snow Cap. And we're going to actually, let's share key. The key they told me was Snow Cap 1964. Alright, so let me try that. Submit. Alright, so the device has got to reboot. While the device is rebooting, let's go over here and look see the device list. That camera should show up in the device list, but it might not. The reason why it might not is because I manually set it to 10.0.0.10. So I'm thinking it's not going to show up in here. So let me let it reboot. We'll see here in a moment. Just bear with me. This is what happens. This is reality, so it's okay. They've got a lot of devices here. A lot of people must have their cell phones and stuff on occasionally here and there. it is a restaurant. So I'm gonna go back to the camera. All right, looks like the camera's rebooted, so it's responding. So I'm going to. There's two things I can do here. One thing is I probably should leave an IP address in there, only because if the wireless isn't working, it'll sort of, if I remove this and just put DHCP server, I won't be able to access it through that crossover cable on my laptop. I'll have to bring it back to the office and get it through a router, or plug it into their router hardwired. But I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna go obtain IP address from DHCP server. So I'm gonna have it assign me an address. So submit. What that means is it's going to reboot, and when it comes back up, I'm not going to see it again because I know it's not in the 10.1. I know it's on 192.168. So let's go back. So this page is pretty much done right now. We will never go back here again. Let me go back to the Wi-Fi router. Oops. Let me just log in again. Hold on a second. Right, device list. Let's see if it shows up in the device list. Not seeing it yet. I'm I wonder if the name is funny and it's in the middle. Oh, there it is. There it is. IP camera, I think. Let me see. Nice details, huh? I don't know. Cancel. Alright, so interestingly enough, this is some things you discover. It's online now, but what happened was I had to unplug the network cable. When I had the network cable plugged in from my computer, on the back of my computer here, it was looking at the Ethernet and wasn't looking at the wireless. So now it's online. So now what I want to do is, so we know it. So of course, I logged in on my computer on their wireless network. That's how I'm getting my internet access right now. So if I go to the camera, you see it got assigned an address. Actually, if we go back in that list, look at the camera. So that's how you find out what the IP address is of the camera. You look at there, click on it, it tells you what IP address is assigned to it. It assigned it 118. So let's go here. Let's go into the device, type in 118, which we did already. I'll hit refresh, enter. And it should come right up. There it is. I will sign in. Actually, I was already signed in. Typically, it would ask you for a username and password. The username and password is gray user, gray password. So anyway, all right. So let me pan down. We're seeing a little bit of a scene. So here's some people at the restaurant, and so we've gotten. This is inside the network. I'm on a computer on the network. The camera's wirelessly on the network. You see there's nothing hooked to it other than the wireless, and it's on. So with that, now we've got to be able to see it outside. Here's where the interesting part comes in. So to see it outside of the building, let's go do that next. Okay, so we're in the router. We're in the Wi-Fi router here at the restaurant, and we can see the camera on a browser inside the restaurant on their own network. But to see it outside, that's another story. So I'll show you how to do it to see it outside. So let's go to the router again, and we'll go to security. And in security, you'll see a thing called the DMZ. It's just what it sounds like, a demilitarized zone, I guess, for internet addresses. We're going to turn the DMZ on, and then the source IP means what IP address can actually see it. In the security situation, we would actually put our building IP on, so the gray outside IP that we'd actually be accessing it on, we would put that in the range here. But I'm going to leave it on any IP because I want you guys to be able to actually access this camera. So destination IP means what camera on the network do we want to, or I'm sorry, what item on the network do we want to make available to the outside world. This could be dangerous if you made everybody available. Unfortunately, they just give you one address you can send to the outside world. So even though the outside world's getting into the router, they're only seeing this camera. So it's a safe situation. So let's look at the table. I can type in the IP address, or I can look through the camera, or look through the list, find the camera, and just select it. IP camera. So select, the IP address is 118. Select, it chooses the MAC address, that way it doesn't get lost. It could be the IP address too, but the MAC address is even better because then it can just go to that MAC address and not the IP address. And hit OK. Alright, so now we've got to go back. I can look at it on my cell phone to confirm, but we've done all we can do here. We've set up the camera, got it on the network, they can see it on the inside. We've opened up the demilitarization zone. Oh no, there's one thing I forgot. One thing you've got to do is you've got to go to a browser and say, what is my IP? What's the IP address of this computer that or this network that I'm trying to access the internet from? So, my IP. Hit enter. And Google actually tells you. So I know this person's outside address is 68.47.84.3. So actually, if you go to that address, you'll see this camera also. And again, the password is gray and username is gray. So give it a try. The next video you're going to see is me at the station pulling this camera up. Alright guys, I'm back at the station. Here's our Mito computer. We call it our meter computer because it's one we bring up on the scan converter. You can see over there, that's what's in production control. The scan of this screen. Here, let me walk a little closer so you see it. This is the $200 camera. It's actually pretty reasonable. The resolution's not bad. So that's what we have up on the switcher. Now I'm going to bring up that camera that we just installed. Actually, I'm going to go back because I was just at it. So there we go. There it is. And here it is up here. Let me show you. Here it is on air. We could be taking this to air right now if we so felt like it. Maybe we'll get a shot where you can actually see someone moving around. Well, I mean, that's it. You are seeing the restaurant in the production control. We could actually be taking this to air if we wanted to. It's got about the resolution of an NTSC camera, a composite video camera. Reasonable resolution. Not great, but certainly reasonable.